Welcome everyone to a What's New Short by CTC. In this session, I want to talk with you quickly about what's new in the MEP Productivity Pack 20.1.2 update. This is a massive update, and so we're going to go over this information really quickly. Of course, everything that I'm going to be talking about today for the current version and past versions are all available in the release notes in the info kit for the pack. We'll talk about where you can get that a little later. Real quick, the MEP Productivity Pack is an incredibly powerful collection of content, project-tested workflows, standards, and this has been purposefully built to streamline your adoption of building information modeling within the MEP engineering practices. That's the whole purpose. In this latest release, we have been incredibly hard at work, really working to improve the end user experience and just further streamlining all these workflows. So I'm going to take a quick look at this and show you what's all new. Now, before I jump into the .2 version, I want to recap real quick what happened in some of the earlier 2020 versions. The first thing, in the first original release, it had some massive updates for electrical. Really big electrical release that time. Better hosting, better workflows for all the electrical content. All of the electrical parameter values across the entire MEP pack have all been NEMA endorsed and are in use everywhere. So massive update there, and we introduced some conditional formatting into the pack. In the 0.1 update, we had some fairly significant improvements to some of the mechanical content and some real deep work to standardize everything throughout the pack where there may have been some inconsistencies for you. In this one, we're going to talk about a couple of key aspects that relate to the .2 version of the pack that I'm sure you're going to want to get your hands on. First off, performance improvements in Revit 2020, Revit 2021 and newer. We've got a number of new schedules. There's some updated conditional formatting, updated parameter groupings, new visibility graphics updated through some of the views, significant air terminal enhancements on the mechanical and HVAC front, and new families and family types. We're going to talk about all of these in a little bit of detail here. First off, performance improvements. These are really important. There were some changes in Revit 2021 and newer versions where combined parameters weren't able to properly work within the MEP Productivity Pack. It's a Revit change, was out of our control, but what we've done is we've modified how we are leveraging these combined parameters. In fact, we aren't using combined parameters, and it makes the model 10x or more faster when working in Revit 2021 Plus. This affected about 116 schedules that were in the original pack, so all of those have been updated in this .1 version. We've also improved formulas for overall performance within the families. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And we've also optimized some of the family structure. We've reorganized some of the formulas within the families, instance and types and things like that. And you'll see some of that later on in this little discussion as well. Now, a part of that schedule workflow, we actually have some new schedules that were added. As a result of needing to uncombine parameters, we needed to add about 118 brand new schedules across the MEP Productivity Pack to make it easy to communicate design intent. And every single one of our schedules now has consistent full conditional formatting across all the schedules to match the full standards. There was a few straggling schedules that were there before that didn't fully have this, and many of you asked for it. It's now there for you. We've also updated the conditional formatting itself on a couple of key schedules. There's 10 design schedules specifically that had some new updated conditional formatting, and all 101 schedules that were in there were actually updated for just general consistent formatting overall. Organization of parameters, justifications, title headers, all of that consistent across all of the schedules. And so that way you don't have to worry about it being inconsistent in any form or fashion. Now, we also went through the families and touched parameters within the family content as well. There's 37 specific parameter data types that have been regrouped across all relevant families just for ease of use and for consistency as you navigate the content. 20 family collections have been updated for instance versus type parameters. Some of them were better optimized just for performance again in the model. The instance versus type does affect model performance, and that the families have been updated accordingly. And we've also updated 35 family collections to have very significant calculation updates so that you get better data as you're making connections to these content. It wasn't that it was inaccurate, it's just it's been optimized for performance and also modernized for some of the more current calculation methodologies that are available out there. In addition to that, within the project models and the templates, the starter projects, we've updated visibility graphics. There was 7 view collections that had some fairly significant updates to visibility graphics. This is in particular the design views and the model startup views, but we wanted to make sure that it was real easy for you and your teams to kick off a brand new model and just jump in feet first and have good quality visibility graphics that didn't need a lot of customization. So those have been updated accordingly. Now, specifically with the families, I'll be talking more about some other general families in a minute, but air terminals underwent some very significant terminal enhancements. Specifically in the auto sizing area, there's now full auto sizing families that are really quality, good to work, fast to use, but there's also a bunch of new non-auto sizing options available as well. That's per your request, because sometimes you just don't want the auto sizing functionality to work. There's a significantly greater number of families for the air terminals themselves. It's probably about 4x what it used to be. And there's also significant performance improvements in these air terminals. And on the HVAC side, on that front, since that's where a lot of the air design begins, that's pretty important because it's going to make just that workflow in the HVAC front that much better. Now, across the board, we also have a bunch of new families and family types in other areas as well. There's new tagging options, 4 in particular. There's new family types for condensate pumps and for PTAC wall units. There's also new families. I've already mentioned the air terminals, 25 new families in the air terminals area, but there's also some new outdoor split system residential families and a new domestic booster pump within the plumbing space. And then finally, there's a new fire protection standpipe valve that's available as well. Now, to keep this short, I don't want to go any deeper. If you want more information, you can go visit ctcsoftware.com, navigate into our products, the MEP Productivity Pack, and you can get that MEP Info Kit, which has all of the release notes from 20.0, 0.1, and this current one here, 0.2, in that Info Kit, as well as some visual examples in PDF. If you want to reach out to us to get more information, you can do that at info@ctcsoftware.com. With that, I want to say thank you. We hope you found this meaningful, and we look forward to seeing you in future CTC What's New presentations. Have a great day.